Hey guys, we're Arab Girls Defined. At the beginning, we're gonna be anonymous, so I'm gonna be Karen and she's gonna be
Amy.
Say hi to Amy.
What's up, guys?
So we're like two Arab girls, Muslim girls, too, living in Vancouver, Canada since 4 years ago. Yeah, we had like similar experience, so we made this podcast to relate to every girl out there who like is Arab or Muslim or just relate to us
Yeah,
in
or
any
whatever.
way.
Just able to like relate to our experiences,
Whoever
our
you
lifestyle
are.
growing up, whoever you are, if you
Even
relate.
if you are a boy
Yeah.
who feel like knowing about those stuff, why not? Join
Absolutely.
us.
Everyone's welcome, baby. We're all about
Yeah.
inclusivity.
So what are we gonna talk about? Like what are our topics?
Yeah, so we have a bunch of topics that we want to talk about, and they're not close to this. So if you guys have any please, like any opinions, any other topics that we should talk
Yeah.
about, please let us know. Drop us a message, and also if you want to be on our podcast, let us know.
Yeah, we'd be so happy.
yeah.
Like we found each other and we were like, let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
We literally met each other at work, and then from like the first day, I was like, "Girl, so do you have this?" And she was like, "Yes." I'm like, "Great, we're gonna be friends."
we did it. We finally did it.
We did it, yeah. So like the topics we want to talk about are hijab and clothing.
Yeah, like modesty and all those stuff that still people talk about, even though it's outdated and it's 2020. And also maybe racism too, because we're not gonna talk about it right now, but like in the future.
Yeah, we'll go into topic with it later, just because we have so much racism within our own community.
Yeah.
And definitely needs to be spoken about.
Yeah, and also we're gonna talk about a culture clash, as what happened to us coming here suddenly and changing our lives. Also sexuality and maybe the family issues too that
Absolutely.
we go through, every one of us. What else?
LGBTQ plus, we want to talk about their experiences, especially within the community, and their thoughts and their feelings and the way they're being treated, which is unhumane, and we definitely want to shed a light on that.
Yeah.
And marriage family law, because I don't know about y'all, but I know that I did not have the greatest family life, marriage, whatever, growing up. So definitely we need to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm sure they can relate to at least one of those things what we're gonna talk about, right?
I think so too, Karen. I think so too.
And also religion, which is like the main thing that go before all of those stuff, but we're gonna talk about it too. And maybe also sexual harassment.
Oh, yeah.
Which is still a thing. Like it's surprising, but it's still a thing and a very big thing, especially in the Middle East.
Yeah.
So it's sad. So that's why we should talk about this too.
100%. And shout out to Egypt for having a Me Too movement right now.
Yeah.
Woo! So for this week's topic, keeping in mind that this is our first episode, we do want to keep it light.
Yeah, don't judge.
Exactly, please, no judgments. This
Can
is
you
gonna
do
be
better? Do better. Like, please.
Show us the way, lead us. This is completely a judgment-free zone, space, safe place.
Yeah.
Just like where free thoughts and emotions flow,
That's why we're anonymous. That's
Exactly,
the only way, because we don't want to cause any drama or anything.
Yeah.
We just want to reach out.
Exactly. And we just want people to know that they're not there alone. And we know how judgmental our societies can be firsthand, and we just don't want that to come and bite us in the ass. So we just want to be anonymous, just so we can talk freely and openly, and just to let girls know that, hey, you're not alone. There are so many more girls that are experiencing the same things as you, and we're here for you, girl. We got you.
Yeah, because maybe there's no one around you that feel the same way that you're feeling, or thinking the same thoughts that you're thinking. So that's why we're here. And I wish that we could have make it in Arabic too, because we too speak Arabic, but we decided to make it in English. And
but you know what, if you guys do want want us to talk in Arabic for some episodes, we would love to. Like,
Yeah, sure.
let us know, and like, we would be super open to that. But we just thought English, just because like, I guess it's more accessible to everyone
Yeah.
right now within our community.
Exactly.
But we would love
and
to talk in
we know
Arabic.
that so many Arabs do like know English. and,
Absolutely,
like, you know.
absolutely. So, I don't know.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna talk about like, you know, culture today.
Clash, yeah.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to keep it light and short for today's first episode. We decided to talk about culture clash, have a
Yeah.
conversation surrounding that.
For anyone who doesn't know what a culture clash is, for anyone for any reason who never traveled or like tried that, yeah, it's how we crashed.
How
here.
we clash, absolutely. Let's Google the actual definition so we
okay.
realize.
Okay.
So, culture clash, it is a noun. A conflict arising from the interaction of people with different cultural values. Yeah, that absolutely relates to what we were going through.
Exactly, and it looks fine at the beginning. Like once you move to a new place, you feel like, oh no, I'm fine. Like
Yeah.
everything's gonna be fine. I will keep my culture to me. I'm like the best. Fully like myself, and nothing's gonna affect me. But
then a clash happens.
The clash happens. Yeah, like you'll be walking and then it's going underneath you and you don't even feel it, but it's there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So like for me, from my experience, as I said before, I'm Egyptian.
She's Amy, by the way.
Oh yeah.
If you didn't recognize
Amy.
the voices yet.
So yeah, so as I said before, Amy, I'm Egyptian and as well as Canadian. I got my citizenship when I was 10 years old, but then I moved back to the Middle East because my dad got work there. I lived in Saudi Arabia for like the majority of my life, as well as Egypt. And then when I moved back to Canada, I felt lost, if I'm being completely honest with you. That is the one word that I felt, lost. I didn't know what was right, what was wrong. I didn't know what thoughts to continue to keep in my head and what thoughts to let go in my head.
Yeah. Feels unattached to yourself. Exactly.
Absolutely, yeah, no, like, yeah, Karen said it perfect, like, absolutely, an unattachment to yourself, really, and almost sometimes you kind of feel like you're betraying yourself, but then you also think of it as, what is better for me? What is better for me as a human, for my own happiness?
Yeah, you suddenly stop thinking about your culture and your community, and you suddenly realize you're a human being. And you be like, okay, like here's my community things and here's me as a human being. Like you start connecting like those together.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes when like before moving here, I feel like it was more of like culture,
a fantasy almost,
like a illusion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like, wow, yeah, I'm moving to Canada, and it's like, yeah, I'll just continue, I don't know, being like the same good girl that I am. Yeah,
I'm going to study.
I'm gonna go study, right? And not to say that we're not, like, we're both in university, and like, we're still both grinding, working, studying, and we're still both like,
you're almost graduating.
Yeah, shit, I can't believe it, you guys. Oh my god, 4 more months. But yeah, like, not to necessarily say that it's like good girl, bad girl, no, but it's more of like, what makes you as Amy or as Karen happy, you know? Like, what satisfies your needs that you need, you know? And rather what, like, your family needs you to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly, yeah. The same thing happened to me when I first moved to Canada. First I was acting fine. I was feeling like full of myself, and I was completely a Muslim girl with everything, a hijab and modesty and all of that. And I was proud of this. Like it wasn't like I was feeling bad about it. No, I was completely proud of that, and this is what I wanted at that time.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then slowly I started to look at people around me and talk to more people, and I started to realize like maybe there's something else that there's deep inside me that I was avoiding and not thinking about, and then it suddenly came, and it changed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you feel like maybe to why you were feeling like certain modesty feelings, do you feel like it was pressured by family or by like culture when you were living in Syria? You used to live in Egypt, so
yeah,
like
true.
Yeah,
if
so
you
like,
guys don't know, I'm Karen, by the way. Yeah. So I lived in Syria until I'm like 15, and then I moved to Egypt, did my high school there. So I had a good chance to look at like the Egyptian community too.
Yeah, she's one of us, you guys.
Yeah, so it's for sure it's different a little bit from a country to country, even in the Middle East, and it's only Middle Easterns who would realize that, like, it's completely different. And yeah, for me, modesty wasn't from me specifically. It was more of like a family thing that you shouldn't wear like this thing, like you shouldn't wear something seducing, and also
care about what other people are gonna say.
Yeah,
like I don't know what this word is in English, but the bawab, which is essentially the guard, like the guard that stands outside of your compound or apartment. Like it's literally more about like what are the people gonna say in your reputation.
Like, the grocery store man, like you have to consider him too when you wear something. Like you have to think about the grocery or the cashier guy, because like everyone matters in our community, and this was a huge pressure, because like once it's in your mind, you kind of feel weird when you try to wear something like, you know, tight or short.
Absolutely.
Because you feel like everyone is looking at you, everyone is like talking about you, so you immediately go to the safe side and like try to be modest. So this is what I was doing, I think, and to be honest, it was more pressure on me in Egypt because it was a little bit too much.
Yeah.
It was a little bit too much in terms of like, but also maybe it depends on the area. I have to say it's not all areas, but yeah.
But just in general. Like,
in general, yeah. Like when I go out with like a skirt, like, you know, wearing a skirt, it has to be like it's just a skirt, right? But
or
like,
even red lipstick. Like in my case, I find like if I wear red lipstick, like my mom, she would be like, girl, what are you doing? Like, but in a more like aggressive way. Like,
are you going to a club?
Exactly. Are you going to a club or a strip club? Like, it was more of like you're doing this for seduction rather than you're doing this for yourself,
or to be like feel good about yourself. Yeah,
exactly that.
Yeah, and yeah, when I used to be like, for example, in Syria, it was the norm to wear like a skirt without like a, you know, a pants under.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so normal.
Yeah.
But then when I moved to Egypt, I realized it's not, especially for like people with a scarf, you know, like people who wear hijab, like girls, I mean, not people. So when I moved to Egypt, every time I go out with a skirt, like guys would look at me and say like, yeah, like what you're doing, trying to do, like show us your legs or something.
Oh, wow. I never knew that.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. Like I told you, it depends on the area.
On the area, yeah.
But this happened.
But
and
still, the fact that even happens, right?
Yeah,
like,
and even girls would judge me. And this is another thing. Like it's not just guys. Like girls would say like, oh, like
look at what she's wearing.
Yeah, look at what she's wearing. Look what she's trying to do. Like she thinks that, like, you know,
she's the hot chick, like, or something. Yeah.
And it was completely normal to me, like to wear a skirt like that. Yeah. But for them, it was something weird, even from girls, and I was surprised. So it was like pressure from the community and pressure from parents. You know.
And isn't it crazy how like Karen was at her modest, like, you know, for cultural value, she was the most modest a girl can be, and like she would still get backlash for that by the community and by guys. It's like, what more should a girl do to be like, in quotes, modest in one's eyes? Like she does everything that the rule book technically tells you to do, and you still get judged for that.
Like it's like by the like centimeters, or I don't know how you people like do it in inch or something. But
I feel you. I get you.
But like, you know, if your neck even showing, you're like, oh, please cover it. It's something so silly. Like, you know, it's something just so silly. Yeah. So when I came to Canada, you know, I was also still modest. And slowly I realized like no one here gives a shit about you. Even if you wear like half naked, no one even looks at you.
Yeah.
Even if you're covered or half naked, no one
covered.
even gives a shit. Like
Yeah.
everyone has a life and they don't give a shit.
Everyone does them. Like, yeah.
So I was just looking at other people and I was like, why don't I do the thing that I want to do?
Yeah.
I started thinking more, and
Yeah.
like this is the problem to the Arab community when they see you thinking, like especially a girl, when a girl starts to think, it's like a red sign.
Exactly.
Like, oh shit, she started to think.
Yeah, it's like a girl can't have her own independent freedom thoughts of thought. Exactly. Yeah.
And once my parents like realized, oh shit, she's like started to think about this, she's realizing all of that. I you know, I told you, but they should know too.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to like tell them, speak to them, like, hey, I'm thinking about this, why those girls like are allowed to live their life whatever they want, and me, I'm forced to live like that. Like, I want to have fun, I want to show my hair, I want to just live normally. I don't want to do anything with any boy. I just want to live my life.
I just want to be me.
And I got a huge backlash from my parents.
I can imagine.
I know, like, you know the words like, no, if you want to do that, then you can do that when you get married.
Oh,
Or if you don't want us to be your parents, you can do that. If you're our daughter, you can't
like
do
the
that.
the guilt trip off it. If like, if you want to sacrifice or if you want to be your own happiness, then sacrifice us. Like, no, you guys are my family. You guys are supposed to support my happiness.
I'm not going against you. I'm going for myself. So if you're against it,
then you're against myself. Like, really, to put it in plain words, you know. And this is obviously not a backlash to like Arab parents. Like, they're great. We love them. Like, they raised us to be who we are today.
I think
and everything.
It's not their fault. It's the way they were raised.
Exactly. She said it perfectly. It's literally not their fault. It's the way that they were raised and the way they were just brought up to, you know? And it's like, I find that nowadays us millennials, Gen Z culture, we're being raised with social media.
We're lucky, actually. You know what? We're so fucking lucky. Even to be here in Canada.
We are.
We're lucky.
It's a true blessing, honestly. And like, and like, we're raised with all this social media that, like, whether we like it or not, but shows us different perspectives and different people and different thoughts of people. And like, to us, like, whenever we see an Arab girl or like a Muslim girl that's like living her life and being like the bad bitch that she's destined to be, we love that. We love that and we praise that.
We love that.
And that gives us confidence to be us and still remain within our identities. Sorry, Arab and Muslim. You know?
You don't have to be like atheist, like, because it's the common thing that people think, like, oh my god, if this girl, like, you know, started to do whatever that she wants, she's like atheist. This is what I think, and it's wrong. Like, I'm still a Muslim, I'm still Arab, and I'm proud of this.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I 100% agree. It's like, you can be Muslim and you can be Arab and you can do you. You know, it's all about intersectionality. I probably did not pronounce that right, but y'all know what I mean. It's all about that, like, being combined together to form your own identity. And like that really like adds up to like our culture clash. Like, it joins in together. And like, something else that like we found, that like growing up in the Middle East, we always thought that, oh, white people are better than us, or like we necessarily didn't think that, but our parents thought that, and they like ingrained that in our head, that like, oh, white people are better than us and Arabs are like not smart enough or not this enough. And like, that's a very toxic ideology to carry. And that is something that you really gotta unlearn and learn and relearn, that no, your Arab identity is what makes you human. Your Arab identity is something that you should be so proud of, because look back at our histories. Every single Arab country, go read their histories. We have long, rich histories that are full of tradition, full of love, full of happiness, full of good food and vibes and welcomeness. And these are things that we should be proud of, rather than think different about and be embarrassed about. No, be proud of your Arab culture, but also don't be afraid to change your Arab culture to
Or
the better.
develop it.
Or develop it.
Yeah, this is what we
Absolutely.
want.
Yes.
We want to be proud, but also we want to develop it. Like when I'm thinking like that, when I find in myself here like developing as a person, I want to go back to my country and actually like talk to
the
people
girls,
and like develop everyone, not just me. This is what we're trying to do.
That is the best way to say it. Developing our Arab culture, 100%. I 100. That's it, 100%. I agree with that. That's so dope.
What's brought me to like so many thoughts is seeing so many Arab girls on YouTube talking about so many topics about our culture and everything, and about their experience, and this is what made me actually feel not alone and
comfortable
and support, and that's why I felt like doing that too. No, me too, absolutely. It's actually this one super cool singer, her name is Fluka. Shout out to Fluka. Look at her on Instagram. She, you guys, is the coolest Arab chick I've ever seen in my life. I hope she's listening.
Fluka, if you're listening, please give us a shout out. We love you, girl.
And I got inspired by the YouTuber Expired and Fabulous. This is
me too. I love her. Yes.
I love her.
Me too.
Oh my God.
She's the one that started the Muzrab, right? Okay, check her out. Expired and Fabulous. She is the dopest.
The same on Instagram. She's Expired and Fabulous. She's amazing. She's strong,
confident,
she has
powerful.
No limits.
No, I love that. I love her. I literally love her. I love that girl. Dude, of course I know her. I have no clue. But I love her. Like her Instagram videos, they're so fucking funny. Like you guys, she's cool as shit. We should invite her to our podcast.
Yeah, true. I mean,
that would be so cool, you guys.
People reach out.
Please. We're still starting.
Yeah, we're still here.
We would love you, Arab queens. Start small, go big.
Yeah.
And hope we kind of talked about culture clash. Oh, no. Let's talk about like how we overcame it though, you know? Because it's like we explained it, we shared our thoughts, our experiences, but like how did we overcome it? Like, for me personally, I overcame it by unlearning every single thing that my parents taught me. Unlearning the idea that you must remain preserved and you must remain an innocent girl. By the way, with innocence, I use quotations, because there's no such thing really as an innocent girl, really, like, or anything, like, but like just like unlearning every single ideology that my parents taught me and really just re-examining it, and seeing, do I truly believe in this, or is this something that I was brainwashed to believe? It's like a grain, like a seed in your mind. It's like planted there a long time ago, and it's still there. So you gotta know, like, is it you or is it something? Is it time to stop watering that seed, or like what is it?
Yeah, exactly. So how? So you started by unlearning those stuff.
And like really just like learning what I truly like. Honestly, no, it was probably just like by myself, just like going and like on probably YouTube, as you said, YouTube and music. That definitely helped me, just looking at other Arab girls and seeing them being fierceful and powerful and free, and that definitely like motivated me to continue, like, breaking the fear, exactly. And like that definitely was a big factor. And then another factor would have definitely been, honestly, you guys, writing in a journal. Sounds corny as shit.
Same.
But my journal is right there.
Holy shit. Like, I started actually changing when I started journaling too.
Absolutely. And like in my journal, I would write, okay, what I as Amy, what do I like? What are things that I want in my life? What are things that I don't like? What are things that I don't want in my life? And just like putting them two together and just reading them, and then you just become comfortable with it. I think there's
because you're just dropping your thoughts and exploring yourself. You don't want anything, like, because your journal is just for you, right? So you're gonna just drop whatever shit is in your mind.
Exactly.
And then suddenly you just read it again and you realize, like, okay,
oh shit,
I'm like that. This is me. Exactly. And like, believe me, like, the journal is just more helpful than anyone. Like, no matter how much you talk to people about
Yeah.
your problems, your journal is just gonna be there listening to you.
No
all
matter
the
what,
time.
you always got paper and you always got pens, and it's for
Yeah.
free, you guys.
It's for free.
And if you guys don't have a journal, literally Microsoft Word. Microsoft to word it out. No joke.
Yeah.
So like yeah, pretty much just learning to unlearn ideologies and thoughts that you grew up with, re-examining those thoughts and ideologies, thinking if you truly believe them and if you truly agree with them. And writing it down and writing down your own thoughts, your own experiences, and what you want in your life, you as an individual.
Yeah.
What are things that make you happy?
Yeah.
What are things that make you confident, you know?
Which is, you know, in some way it's kind of sad, because when you think about it, we have an option to maybe do what we want here, but so many girls right now living in a way that they can't do.
They don't have that freedom, you
Yeah,
know?
which is the
Which is-
sad part.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I agree.
But
And-
also you should always have this thing that there's always a way. You never know.
Try to find a community that thinks like you
Yeah.
and believes like you, and only surround yourself with people like that. If you're surrounding yourself with toxic negativity, things that you don't agree with, cut it out. Cut it out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not good for you. And it's easier said than done though, right? Like it's definitely easier said than done, but like force yourself for that.
It's definitely easier to said than done.
Yeah.
Like for me personally, I was completely fearful, completely like, oh my god, I will never be able to change myself.
Yeah.
But when I broke this fear, everything changed.
Everything changed.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So be confident in yourself. If you believe in something and you feel like something is right for you, say fuck you and do it. Do it for you.
know, it's just like for a second, just say to yourself like, what's gonna happen if I did this? What's the worst that's gonna happen?
Yeah.
But definitely you should try to find people who would share your thoughts. This would make you feel more strong. I feel like that. Even if you didn't do the stuff that you want to do, having someone to just share those stuff with is just amazing. Yeah.
And it like it makes you, and I feel like that also helps you grow in a way, right?
Yeah,
like
true.
I don't know, it's like when I met Karen, her and I would like talk about like our feelings and our emotions and like our experiences and all these things, and like if anything we would grow from that when we would kind of grow together, and like it's nice because you're both like carrying each other's back in a sense, and it's motivational.
Yeah. So yeah, what do we want to talk about? Like maybe
Next week.
Next week.
Yeah. Next week, we should talk about hijab and clothing or sexuality.
Maybe, even though we talked about a little bit
about it, yeah.
Yeah, we kind of talk about it. Yeah.
And more in depth next time.
more in depth,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we can also tie that in with sexual harassment because that's big,
It's
right?
related.
It's definitely related.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks guys for tuning into our podcast, Arab Girls Defined.
Yeah. Make sure to like maybe I will be so happy if you listen to the end. It's our first try, but it's definitely like from the heart. So I hope you guys appreciate it and feel some kind of support and feel like we may be someone who you would listen to more.
Absolutely.
So maybe check us out next week.
Yeah, and please give us thoughts, comments, hate, whatever. Like, let us know. Like, let us know what you would like us to include, what you would like us to talk about. If you want to join us, you can stay totally anonymous, of course, like we are. And yeah, just like really vibe with each other, And yeah, like as Karen said, thank you guys for joining and listening and tuning in. Like and subscribe if that's still a thing. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
See you.
Bye.